Fairytale is back, and we're starting out with Natsu's group. They're all still crying because of Athena, so they're all trying to figure out what kind of magic this is, and Athena's response is, "Oh, this is magic, this is alchemy. I transmuted your tears." And Lucy's response is, "No, that's not how alchemy works. It requires ingredients to mix together. At least that's how she imagined it, but apparently in the fairytale world, that's just not how this works. Alchemy is just transmutation. Basically, it's closer to Full Metal Alchemist kind of alchemy, and not how you would think alchemy was supposed to be done in our world, where people were trying to mix ingredients to invent the elixir of life and such. Natsu does what I thought he would do. He just evaporates his tears with his fire. Funny, that just means his fire can affect him, which means he isn't fireproof. Which is such an absurd thing to think, that Natsu the fire dragon isn't fireproof. I mean, I suppose Ignil's flames probably would have burned him, but still, it is kind of absurd. That's probably why he always has to eat the fire to avoid actually getting burned himself. Yeah, so both Lucy and Natsu basically say that they were looking for Athena as a way to kill the dragon gods right in front of the Sabretooth. So they basically broke the first rule of the 100 Years quest. They both realize it at the exact same time, and Happy thinks it's funny. But at this point, I don't think it matters. They've revealed the quest to like so many people who are not contracted to be a part of it, so Also, Athena hands out the quest to literally everyone and anyone he can. I mean, he gave it to the Diablos Guild. So at this point, I really don't think keeping a secret even matters anymore. By the way, Athena finally does something that villains never seem to do in any story whatsoever, and that's keep her mouth shut. They ask her all kinds of questions like, weren't you created to kill the dragon gods? Why would you not want to do that? Also, you were a wizard. Why are you in the Golden Hour Guild? Also, how are you using alchemy if you're a wizard? All of these really good questions. And Athena's response is, I ain't gonna tell you. Everyone, a villain with a brain. The first time that existed in fiction in the last 50 years. So Natsu decides he's just gonna wreck her. Everyone, of course, is like, she's a doll. If you hit her too hard, she's gonna be destroyed. And we won't be able to use her to kill the dragon gods. And Natsu's like, I don't care, I want to beat them anyway by myself. Hey, first off, Natsu, it was already explained to you that the golden dragon is an ethereal being that you cannot kill yourself. Second, Athena was compared to Zeref. He has no chance against her. In fact, all of them know that she was compared to Zeref, so they should all know that Natsu has no chance against her. This is absurd. Yeah, so no one's thinking straight about this, but Natsu also really doesn't care because she picked a fight with Fairytale, so therefore she has to be taken down. So back with Gray's group, Genna decides to start out the attack with using his smoke alchemy, which he releases from his pipe that covers the entire area. Gray connects it to being like smoke make magic, kind of like his ice make magic. But there is a pretty staggering difference. Rogue isn't impressed because he's a dragon slayer, so he can still smell where everyone's at. That's when Genon attacks him, and Rogue, of course, blocks with his arm, but then his arm just drops to the ground. Yeah, so Genon apparently just transmuted his arm into iron. Like, no joke, his entire left arm is just completely made of iron at this point. I mean, he can still lift it because, he's super strong, but still, that sucks. Gray orders Wendy to blow away the smoke, and she decides to breathe in to do a roar, but she breathes in all the smoke, starts choking on it, and that's when Carla's like, why are you using your lungs? Just blow it away with your normal wind. And Wendy's like, oh yeah, he uses her arms to blow the wind all everywhere. And it does nothing to the smoke just stays in place. Gray tries to crush Genai with the ice hammer, but he turns it completely to smoke, like poof, it is just gone. So apparently the way alchemy works is, once again, transmutation, very much closer to a Full Metal Alchemist, where either an object is able to transmute something into something else, or they're able to directly transmute something themselves. So the pipe there that he uses is able to produce smoke for him, but at the same time, he can touch something and just turn it into smoke himself. Because of this, he's not actually using his own power. He's changing something else's entire structure. So while wizards run out of magic, an alchemist will never run out of alchemy. Gray is like, well, you're going to eventually run out of stamina eventually anyway, and also you're going to take damage, so you'll get weaker. So there's still a way to beat you. It's not like you have infinite energy. But no, apparently these two do have infinite energy. So that's when the Master of the Golden Owl, Duke, just walked right in, and he goes, yeah, the reason why they have infinite energy is because they're dolls that he made. Yeah, that's right, they're not humans, they're dolls, just like Athena. In fact, he didn't just make them, he made Athena. He's Athena's pupil. So all of the questions that they had about Athena were answered, obviously, by this one statement. But this guy's a piece of shit. He was Athena's student. He knows Athena's dream is to defeat dragon gods for the last 100 years, but he decides, you know what, I'm going to betray him, and I'm going to control the dragon gods. What The actual fuck. Traitorous bastards happen all the time in storytelling, but this one's actually really screwed up because you're fucking over a man who's been desperately trying to fulfill his goal for the last 100 years. I mean, that's basically saying to an old man that his life's work, his life's ambition was meaningless. That's just cold. I mean, damn. I originally thought that Gray and them were going to win this fight, but now that this guy's here, I can only imagine just how powerful this guy is. Athena's still the key to defeating the Dragon God, so I'm assuming she's still stronger than him, but it's really hard to tell because, once again, he created her, so he could be stronger. I have no idea at this point. But either way, everyone's about to get wrecked a second time. This doesn't really happen in most arcs. Usually they lose the first time and they get the rebound. This time, apparently, they're going to get fucking wrecked a second time. That's a new one for Fairy Tail, that's for sure. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give a thumbs up so you enjoy more Fairy Tail and other anime things. Thank you and have a great day.